The 5 most powerful moments in Stranger Things Season 4 Volume 1. The first volume of Season 4 was recently released, and it was definitely worth the wait. 3 years of waiting for 7 episodes that provided us with a torturous, horror, yet insightful journey that gave us clarity to the group in Hawkins and the Upside Down. With there being so many moments that stood out in Volume 1, I thought I'd reveal what I believe are the 5 most powerful moments. So let's get into it. Here are the 5 most powerful moments in Stranger Things Season 4 Volume 1. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. Number 5. 11 being bullied. I found these scenes in the early episodes to be extremely powerful. Witnessing 11 being picked on by Angela and her friends was extremely heartbreaking to watch. The emotion on 11's face felt so real, and you really did feel for her, especially considering she just wanted to fit in and was doing nothing wrong whatsoever. I thought the scenes were really well thought out, especially when it tied back into it later on in the volume. For example, when 11 was being picked on in the school, she didn't tell the teacher despite the fact Angela didn't mention it to her. This was a subconscious thought that she had, which reminded her of when Number 2 was picking on her in the facility, and he told her that she shouldn't tell Brenner, otherwise something bad would happen. The scene of 11 in the skate rink almost mirrored the scene that we saw in the facility too, all circled round her, not allowing her to escape, showing us that her reaction in the present day was being channeled from when she was younger in the facility when the same thing was happening. All of this was occurring, and with the weight of the loss of Hopper, who was her only true loving father figure, made her much more emotional. Millie Bobby Brown delivered these scenes excellently, and in a way that made you feel for the character the more and more you would see it unfolding. Number 4. Brenners Return. A moment that has made it to number 4 on this list took place halfway through the season. We saw 11 and Owens head towards the top secret facility with the intention of getting 11 her powers back. As they both lowered down into the secret location, and the group came out from the elevator, as Owens was explaining what was going on, we saw Dr. Brenner return for the first time since he was killed in Season 1. There was always the question on if he was actually dead or not, following it appearing as though he was killed in Season 1. But this moment revealed to us that he was most certainly not killed and is very much alive. He even had a battle scar on his face to prove so. 11's reaction to seeing him, which looked like stomach-dropping fear, was one that you could sense running through her whole body. And we as the audience also felt too. Brenner was always an interesting character with cruel intentions, and although it appeared that this time round he was on the side of doing good, I feel there may be a twist of fate that reveals his true intentions in one of the final 2 episodes of Season 4. Number 3. Hopper and Joyce reunite. The moment that comes in at number 3 on this list occurs in the final episode of the volume. We'd seen Hopper survive in the prison, battle his way out, only to end up back in there, but this time coming head to head with a Demogorgon, where his prior knowledge definitely came in handy. This was also such a great moment in the show too. Alongside this, we had also seen Joyce and Murray fly to Alaska, get double-crossed by Yuri, and end up so close to Hopper, and getting their first glance at him for the first time in over a year. Once Hopper had managed to break free from the Demogorgon arena, we saw him walk into the room, and as the door opened, he locked eyes with Joyce for the first time, and he didn't know that she was there. We had a slow-motion shot of Joyce walking over to Hopper, and what started as empty-looking eyes gradually turned into the softest smile and facial expressions that expressed sheer relief and comfort, something that Hopper hadn't had in such a long time. They embraced each other with open arms and whilst smiling, and it was a moment that provided such light in a scene that was filled with darkness only moments earlier. It was the Hopper that we wanted to see all season, and you got a glimpse of the Hawkins Hopper, the moment that he laid eyes on her. It was a fantastic moment filled with emotion that was executed perfectly. Number 2. Max's escape. A moment that almost made the top spot occurred at the end of episode 4. We saw Max on the verge of being claimed by Vecna. She was in a nightmare-like state in reality, and Vecna was inside of her mind. We saw Vecna taunting Max all throughout the first 4 episodes, and appearing to inflict fear within her as the countdown grew closer. However, when she was close to losing it all, we saw her escape. In reality, the group put headphones on her and played her favorite song. This was then played in the background of the scene we were watching. We saw Max slice Vecna and then run with all of her might towards the opening that would allow her to re-enter reality. She had to avoid rocks falling out of the sky, and also Vecna causing the ground to erupt all around her. Sadie's facial expressions conveyed so much emotion, and you could feel every footstep that she was making was one closer to her being back with her friends. The use of the song in the background paired with the slow motion shots of her longing for her escape was extremely powerful and made the moment rather emotional, especially compared to how I thought it would be. Number 1. The Reveal of Vecna. The moment that I believe is the most powerful moment in the entire season occurred in the final 20 minutes of the volume. We were inside Project Nina, and we were finally witnessing 11 relive the flashbacks that we started the season off with of the Hawkins facility massacre. And it was here where it was revealed to us that it wasn't 11 who did the attack, but it was in fact Number 1. And Number 1 is in fact the guard that had been looking out for and helping 11 all throughout the show. What made this moment even better was that we got a double revelation in the sense that we also found out that Number 1 is the new villain in the show, Vecna. Alongside this, we also found out that Vecna and Number 1 is Henry Creel, Victor Creel's son. The way that this was executed with the flashbacks all throughout the final scene, with Nancy walking through the Creel house, was done really well, and allowed us to see it all in real time and put all of the pieces together in a clear, coherent way. It could have become confusing, but it was pieced together and structured in a way that was very clear. We witnessed an epic battle between 11 and Number 1 before she pushed him so hard it created a gateway and he went into the Upside Down, where he then transformed into the villain that we saw wreaking havoc all throughout Season 4 Volume 1, Vecna. Frame by frame, we saw him slowly transform, and it was a great moment. It was a moment that provided clarity, a sense of panic, and excitement when we saw just how powerful 11 was, and that she will have her powers back in Season 4 Volume 2. So, there you have it, what I believe are the 5 most powerful moments in Stranger Things Season 4 Volume 1. If you'd like to see a wide array of Stranger Things content such as the ending of Volume 1 broken down, or Vecna explained, or even the Volume 2 teaser trailer broken down, then hit on the I button in the top corner. Or alternatively, you can head over to the channel where there's an entire playlist of Stranger Things content. If you want to suggest a show or movie for me to cover on the channel, then feel free to head over to my Twitter @BrainPilot_ and tweet me what you'd like to see. What do you think the most powerful moment in Volume 1 is? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.